I'm 78, and this is the truth no one told me. And most mornings now begin with a kind of quiet tiredness I never felt before. It isn't my body that feels heavy first. It's the simple knowing that there's less time ahead than behind me. I sit on the edge of the bed longer these days, letting the world wait while I gather myself. Not because I can't stand, but because standing feels optional when nothing is actually waiting. Silence used to scare me. Now it just sits there, like it owns the place. I once believed old age would arrive with wisdom neatly wrapped, ready to use. I thought clarity would show up one morning and explain everything I'd been doing. Instead, old age mostly feels like reruns, only now I notice what I missed the first time. Life starts making sense at exactly the moment when changing it becomes inconvenient. Time, it turns out, doesn't slow down out of respect for your age. If anything, it speeds up once you finally start paying attention. The days keep moving calmly, completely uninterested in my realizations. I stopped counting years because they stopped asking to be counted. Losses, on the other hand, show up whether you're counting or not. I still have phone numbers saved for people I'll never surprise with a call again. Some rooms in my house feel bigger now, mostly because no one argues with them anymore. Even old versions of myself feel like strangers, men I once nodded at in passing. People like to imagine regret comes from loud mistakes and dramatic disasters. Mine came quietly, from doing everything politely and waiting patiently. My life didn't collapse. It just followed the rules a little too well. In my 20s, I was serious in the way young men confuse with maturity. I believed doing the right things would eventually earn me the right life. I worked hard, showed up on time, and trusted effort to keep score. I wasn't reckless. I wasn't cruel. That felt like more than enough back then, so naturally I assumed life would reward good behavior, eventually. Time felt generous in those days, like a resource that could never run low. I treated later like a savings account I never bothered to check. Later, I'd slow down, I said, as if speed was something I controlled. Later, I'd be present once presence became more convenient. Later, I'd say the things that felt awkward to say out loud. Later sounded responsible, which made it very easy to believe. Later also sounded safe, and I like safe more than honest. Only now do I see how often later quietly meant never. By my 30s and 40s, life filled every empty space without asking. Work expanded politely, the way important things always seem to do. No one forced me. I just kept agreeing without checking the cost. I told myself I was building stability, like stability builds itself. Turns out, I was building a routine that didn't ask much from me emotionally. Dinners disappeared slowly, which made them easy to ignore. Conversations faded because my attention was usually somewhere else. I missed moments by being present in the room, but absent in the moment. People didn't leave suddenly. They adjusted quietly. They faded the way background noise does until silence replaces it. Relationships don't usually end dramatically, despite what movies promise. They end with reasonable excuses and believable delays. "I'll call next week," I said, sincerely meaning it at the time. "I'm just tired tonight" became a habit that aged very well. Eventually, you realize you don't even know how to start the conversation anymore. Ironically, Those were the years people admired me the most. Reliable, driven, dependable. Words that sound warm until you live inside them. No one ever compliments you for choosing rest over progress. I don't remember when my marriage became quiet instead of close. Nothing broke, nothing exploded, which made it harder to notice. Conversation slowly moved out, without leaving a forwarding address. I told myself this was normal, because normal is very convincing. I didn't realize warmth needs attention more than intention. Love doesn't ask for intensity, just consistency. You can pause affection, but it won't stay exactly where you left it. Loneliness settled in long before I bothered to name it. The strange part is, I wasn't unhappy, just fully occupied. Being busy turned out to be a very comfortable distraction. You don't feel the cost while you're paying it in small daily installments. The bill arrives later, when distractions stop working. I kept waiting for life to calm down before fixing things. Life never really got the memo. There was always something practical that needed attention first. Another deadline felt easier than another conversation. I called it patience, but absence fits better now. The moment of clarity didn't come with music or drama. It came as a phone call, short, careful, and final. Someone I loved was gone, not suddenly, just unavailable forever. I stood in my kitchen afterward, as if the counter might explain it to me. I thought about conversations we postponed like chores, not arguments, just ordinary talk we assumed would wait. Those ordinary moments are surprisingly heavy to carry. Grief doesn't always cry. Sometimes it just organizes memories. You start counting what's left instead of what you lost. Acceptance arrives quietly, without asking if you're ready. Clarity helps you understand, but it doesn't repair much. You can see your mistakes clearly and still respect their permanence. I tried reaching out, mostly to see who still recognized me. Some doors opened politely, others stayed closed without explanation. People move on, and honestly, they should. You can't ask them to return to a version of you that no longer exists. No one warns you that respectability can still feel incomplete. You can follow every rule and still miss the point. Success feels different when no one's around to notice it. I reached my goals, just without checking if they were mine. Retirement didn't feel like freedom, it felt like quiet exposure. Without noise, I finally heard myself clearly. Old age removes distractions with impressive efficiency. Your choices don't argue anymore, they just sit with you. You sit with your choices longer now, and they don't argue back. This is my life, all of it, exactly as it turned out. And if hearing this stayed with you, then maybe something of me remains. Yes, it was true. It was the truth of my life,